United have had one of their better seasons in a little bit under a consistent manager who gets the best out of his players in Michael Carrick. I believe at this point Carrick will be retained as manager, so that is what I'll be planning for in this video. So here is Manchester United's ideal summer transfer window. For departures, United will have a big group of players leaving the club. One player already confirmed to be departing the club is Casemiro. He has had a much improved season, but his time in Manchester is over, leaving a big gap. Another player highly likely to permanently leave the club is Marcus Rashford. I believe Barcelona will pay the £26 million fee to make his move permanent, as he has done well there. Rasmus Højlund is another player I see leaving, as Napoli will likely make his loan move permanent. The fee they would need to pay is £38 million, which would be a good haul for United to get. Luke Shaw is also likely to be sold as his contract expires next summer. I think United could get around £10 million from a club in Saudi. Manuel Ugarte will likely see his United career end this summer as well, as he has just been a massive flop of a signing. Galatasaray are very interested, and I think United could get around £20 million for him. The final transfer out should be Joshua Zirkzee. He has also never been able to fully flesh out a starting spot, and with Sesko's impressive season, he seems very likely to depart as well. I think AC Milan would pay £30 million for his services. This is another pivotal summer for United in terms of purchases, as they are now back in the UCL. So here are the purchases United should make this summer. The first need United have this summer is replacing Casemiro. When I say replacement, I mean a 6 who pairs well in a double pivot. I'm not necessarily meaning someone who's a replica of Casemiro as a pure ball-winning midfielder, but Carrick will want a 6 who can win the ball back very well in midfield, but is also dynamic, and a good on-the-ball player with experience who can start most matches next season. When looking at the expensive option for a 6 for United, I think the best option for this is Sandro Tonali, the 25-year-old Italian midfielder from Newcastle. He is not a typical 6, but I think he's a perfect fit for what Carrick is looking for. He is very solid on the ball, has incredible running ability, and can win the ball back at a very good rate. He also adds goals from midfield similar to what Casemiro was offering. But as I said, he would be expensive, probably £90 million to bring in. A more value option for this would be Manuel Locatelli, the 28-year-old Italian midfielder from Juventus. He has been such an underrated 6 for many years now and has been sneakily one of the best in the world. He is such an all-around midfielder who rarely makes mistakes. Even though he is a massively important piece to Juventus, I think United could get him for £45 million. A cheaper option United could get for the 6th position would be Ederson, the 26-year-old Brazilian midfielder from Atalanta. Similar to Tonali, he is not a true 6, but in Carrick's system he could be that player, due to his dominant ball-winning talent. If he was placed next to an 8 who could dictate play more, that would be a good fit, because Ederson is not necessarily the best at that. He would be a solid, cheaper option, costing around £35 million, but is that truly what Carrick is looking for? This is why I think the best option is to go with Sandro Tonali. United had lots of success last season purchasing proven mid-20-year-old talent, and Tonali is exactly that. He is very low risk, as I think he is almost guaranteed to work out. The second need is an 8 that can provide competition for Kobe Manu, someone with a good all-around game. The expensive option for this would be Enzo Fernandez, the 25-year-old Argentinian midfielder from Chelsea. Similar to Tonali, he is proven, a good age, and a good fit for this need. He has been very underrated for his entire Chelsea career. It is heavily rumored that he is going to exit Chelsea this summer, likely for Madrid, but United could have a chance if they put up £90 million. The good value option is Eduardo Camavinga, the 23-year-old French midfielder from Real Madrid. His time in Madrid seems to be ending very soon. Madrid are linked to multiple different midfield options, and Camavinga is not getting the playtime he deserves. I think for this need, he is an amazing fit, and he is a very good box-to-box midfielder, an all-around 8 who can do multiple different things well. He also has versatility and can play left-back at a high level. I also have zero concerns about adaptability, as he has so much talent. Reports say he would cost £55 million to bring from Spain. The cheaper option would be Lamine Camara, the 22-year-old Senegalese midfielder from Monaco. He is a young and exciting midfielder who gives you a very similar profile to that of Manu, so this would be a move that makes a lot of sense. He is a risky transfer, but reports are showing he would cost £40 million, which would be a good deal. But my option would be Eduardo Camavinga. Versatility, experience, while also being young, and just pure talent makes this the best move in my opinion. The third need is a left back. Carrick tactically likes a left back who is more inverted, but also sometimes goes forward and wide when the other fullback is inverted. So they need to be quite tactically flexible. The expensive option for this would be Miles Lewis-Skelly, the 19-year-old English left back from Arsenal. MLS clearly has the ability to play an inverted fullback, as he is quite adept at playing more central roles. He is not the best going forward though, but at his age, that is something that can be developed. He has proven that he can do it at this level, and Arsenal may not want to sell, but they have 2 left backs in the squad already, so I think £60 million should do the trick. The good value option is Lewis Hall. the 21-year-old English left back from Newcastle. Very similar to MLS, he absolutely can hang as an inverted fullback and play centrally at points. However, he is also pretty adept at playing wide and high in an attacking sense when needed. I think fluidly he gives United an amazing starting left back option who is also homegrown. Reports say Newcastle would accept a £50 million bid for the young left back. Because of Lewis Hall being more experienced and a better complete tactical fit, I think he should be the option to go with in this position. The fourth need United have is some striker depth. Sesko has proven to be quality, but an older striker to play pivotal minutes is a must for United this summer, especially with European football added to the calendar and Xerxes' exit. For this, I really do not have an expensive option. So for a good value option, I have Jean-Philippe Mateta, the 28-year-old French striker from Crystal Palace. He is Prem proven. He is now European stage proven. He fits exactly the striker Carrick wants, and he'll be relatively cheap due to his expiring contract and desire to leave. I really see no risk with this move. I see him costing around £35 million from reports. The cheaper option would be Patrick Schick, the 30-year-old Czech striker from Leverkusen. He has been a very consistently good finisher for a few seasons now and has loads of experience. He's not as good of a fit as Mateta would be, but he would be cheaper, likely around £25 million to bring in due to age and contract. However, my decision would be Mateta. I think he is the perfect option to give depth and not need to start every week while being a good price. The fifth and final need is some winger depth. United have three great wingers with Mbeumo, Diallo, and Cunha, but a fourth winger with European scheduling on the way is a need as well. The expensive option for this is Yan Diomande, the 19-year-old Ivorian winger from Leipzig. He is an incredibly good talent who has been amazing this season. However, due to this and his age, he will be super expensive. Reports are £100 million, but I believe he could be bought for £75 million. A value option for this would be Karo Mitoma, the 28-year-old Japanese winger from Brighton. He has been a consistently good winger for Brighton now for a few seasons and has loads of Premier League experience. I think Brighton would be willing to let him go for £40 million to make profit on him, but he's an older winger, so is it worth it for United? The cheap option for this would be Crescencio Somerville, the 24-year-old Dutch winger from West Ham. Now, he is only a cheap option if West Ham are relegated, but at the moment it will either be them or Spurs. So for right now, I am assuming they are going down. If so, Somerville brings a good, talented winger to United, who will be willing to receive backup minutes, but also be a very good option off the bench as well. He is a good dribbler with pretty good final third output. He is not perfect, but when he plays for West Ham, he is definitely one of their better players. If relegated, he would cost £30 million. Because of price and how much they've already spent, I think Crescencio Somerville is the best choice. Based on the sales and purchases, for a total spend, United would buy 5 players for £260 million and sell 5 players for £124 million. This would give a negative net spend of £136 million. Not a bad amount of money to spend with a UCL budget. As an overview of the full squad, Lamans and Bayindir are keepers, Hall and Dorgu as left backs, Dalot and Mazraoui as right backs, Yoro, De Ligt, Martinez, Maguire, and Heaven as center backs, Tonali, Camavinga, Manu, and Mount as midfielders, Fernandez in the 10, Cunha and Somerville on the left wing, Mbeumo and Diallo on the right wing, and Sesko and Mateta up front. Please let me know any other signings you would make for United.